maybe, I don't know, I watch YouTube at night live. Whoa, a lot of stuff going on. So, my name is Omni Cosmic Love You So Natural. Well, you guys are reading on me, probably, but I want to do something different. I want to tap in. I want to make a sound. Ready? Here's the sound. There's the sound. What's up, guys? What you doing? What's going on? You like, share, subscribe. I don't know how they do it. Like they do the most. I was just watching YouTube live people like on here. This thing here. Whoa! I don't get the concept, but maybe if I just show you my fan that's on my bed, keeping me cool. Better than that. What's up? What's up? You already know love is so much. What's 2 o'clock in the morning in America? Just eating like some pizza bites. Come on, it's cool. It's cool. You know, I'm not gonna bite you. I'm not trying to change your mind. YouTube is strange at this time of night. It is. It's not scary. It's kind of like, huh, that's me. Hi, Mrs. Number One, Mr. Number One. How you doing? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing awake? Hello, oh, you're gone again. Bye. Pretty sure that was the enemy watching me. But you can watch me all you want. You can never take my freedom. Oops. Wait, can't wear this without my glasses. Wait a minute. There we go. Is that a mean face? That's what like what you talking about. I like it. Thank you for the response. I appreciate that. I don't know, maybe. So let's do this. You ready? Watch. If Mrs. is a helpful review, I see that, and you guys are saying some stuff that I have put in my algorithm to not be approved. So therefore, your energy and your consistency of irregularity portrays your true self. I'm going to tell you a story. You want me to tell you a story? Say, give me a like or something. So if you want me to tell you a story, I will want to tell you a story. I will definitely tell you a story. It's just a story. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It's not gorgeous. It's not great. Okay. You want to hear a story? Okay. I'm going to tell you a story. You ready? All right. Okay. So just bear with me. Let me gather my memory bank and I will tell you a story. And the story will be always about a day in a middle school. Middle school is my favorite time of day. I would go early in the morning. I would get dressed, especially in the winter time. Very fast and very eager to be at school, to go to school, to go to the public school system. I would get dressed, and my siblings would get dressed, and I would be in charge of making sure that they got dressed in time, on time. And so it would be me and my two siblings. And they would have to get dressed before me because they didn't really know what they were doing, and I would be, catching up with them. And I would say probably about 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe earlier. So I got both of my siblings brushing their teeth. I'm making some kind of toast breakfast for them and gathering their clothes and make sure that their homework is in their book bag. Very, very, very difficult work. It wasn't something that was easy. So I got to get them together, and I got to make sure I have my book bag. And in my book bag, I have to make sure I have my homework done, and pencils and pens, and as for them. But we would probably do that the night before. And while we were 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe we would sit down. Maybe we would have a bowl of cereal. We'd probably share it. So say most of the time this stuff was done in the winter. Really, yeah, fall and summer was not so pushy. Like gotta go. In the winter time. This is the winter time. Let's say maybe January. What's all right? I'm gonna turn this down. Okay, that was pretty loud. And so my mom would she'd be getting ready for work early in the morning, and my sister and my two siblings, they would be ready. They have their stuff on, and they got their book bags and their lunch boxes, and they're all covered up, ready to go outside into the snow to walk to school in the snow. Um, so no, we didn't get kisses in the face, right? It was a, hey, baby, make sure you got your stuff. Put your thing. Don't. You better be a good boy today. You better not come home, and I better not got nothing. We didn't get no beautiful kiss off to school. And we would go into the snow. We would trod down with heavy jackets and book bags. And mind you, I was probably maybe like 10 years old, and my siblings were probably 6 and 8 years old. And we would have all this heavy armor. We have leather jackets, 3 layers, and boots, and hats and face masks and gloves and a backpack, and it would be snowing outside, and we would walk to school. We would walk in the snow, in the heavy snow, in the morning, where the sun has not come in to create light. It was dark, gloomy, windy, snowy, and they could not see. My siblings could not see, so I would have to guide them to school. So they would be behind me, and I would grab them, and we would walk through the snow, because in the cities they don't clear the snow; they just put the snow on the pedestrian walk. So the, it would look like the street was cleared, but all that snow would be on the sidewalk. So we would have to either walk on the street that was full of slush and icy and dangerous, because you had cars and taxis and school buses that were coming through that same path. So I would have to make sure that my siblings were safe walking on the street that was full of slush and snow. And they were scared, of course. They were frightened out of their mind. They couldn't see, and they were covered in a big hoodie with fur around, and they couldn't see anything. So they would depend on me to make sure that they got to the school safely every day in the wintertime. And I made sure that they got there every day for 3 years of my life, because that school was from my sister. My siblings were in a lower grade, and when I graduated from that elementary school, um, I was gone at that point, and they would. It was so scary. It was scary for them. They were babies and children, and they depended on me to get them to school, and I got them to school every single day in the snow, sleet, cars, wind, freezing weather, every day. And I would literally, when I got them there, I kind of equivalent that experience when equivalent like I equate that when I see like animal shows, and they show black bears with their babies, and how they traverse the forest with their mom, and there's two of them, because they usually have two. I equate that to that experience, because I had two siblings, and I would literally have to traverse. I would have to bang through the snow, me in front, so that I can make a path for them, right? You understand? And if the path wasn't there for them, I would have to then turn around and expand that path and command my way through the snow, through the sleet, through the parks, through the police, even through the people, so that they can get to school every day. And I did that without even being joyful that my siblings were able to get to school every day. So school let out at that time for me was about 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and for them it would be like 3:30. So the sun has come out, say about 12. So we get a little reprieve from the snow. Maybe sometimes it wouldn't be really snowing, because if it was still snowing, then we wouldn't be allowed to go to school. They would lock us. They would make us, the school's not open. So when the sun came out and my siblings were ready to go to lunch, right? Lunch, they ring the bell. My siblings were in uh, third and I would say third and fourth grade. I was in, so I was there sixth, seventh, and eighth. So those 3 years, I traversed in the snow to take my siblings to class in the snow. Like, I don't. don't even know what you guys understand what that means. It's not it's you bringing your family to a point where they need to be, and they're relying on you as the front line. And I was the only one, and I have my older brothers were not there. It was just me, and I would traverse through the snow, and I would make a way every day. Well, after a couple of days, like, my path was already set for my little brother and my little sister to go to school. And they loved it. Like, it was painful for them because by the time we got, and it wasn't that far. Like I say, it wasn't that far, but for them, it was because they were small. So, like, in the snow and the wind in their face, and they can't breathe, and inside all of the stuff that they have, they're sweating, but they're cold. It was very scary for them. I can imagine. And it was very scary for me, but I got through it because I was guiding my siblings kind of to safety, right? We just came out the house and we gotta go through this craziness of snow and cold and like they don't know what's gonna happen to them because they couldn't see anything. Their face would be covered, literally. And I would guide them. Hey, I'm here. Stay, hold on to me. And if my little sister or my little brother said to me, "Hey, I don't feel him no more," I would not leave. And I did this for 3 years of my life. And I brought them to school every day in the wintertime. And it was a good time for me because I kind of like, maybe I didn't, kind of like showed them how to survive when nobody was there for you, right? To dig through the snow, even the snow, it may seem the biggest obstacle, but we got to go to school, right? And they held on to me. It was scary for me because, shoot, bro, if I would have lost one of if I would have lost my siblings, man, what? I would have died looking for one of them because the snow, like, you don't understand. And I know you guys went through this right now. Like, the snow was deep and it was full and it was scary. It was like that for me back in the days in the 80s or the 90s. Taking them from an apartment building where they were safe and secure to a school that was sort of kind of around the corner, but it was hell to get to. And I traversed through that. For 3 years I did that. 3 years I traversed through that snow. And it may not seem anything but snow's in my face. And I got my two little siblings behind me. And I'm like, hey, and I turn around and they're getting buried every step I take. And I go, come on, let's go. And they go and they pull me and I'm with them and because they want to stop. And I don't stop. And they don't stop. And I say, come on. It was so insane. Like the snow movies that you guys see, man. Listen, I lived that. And then I bring them in. And then when we get there, I've even had one of my siblings like slide off of ice and he would fall or she would fall. And then we'd have to go back and say, come on, this is like, listen, man, it's winter. And then when we get into the school, the metal door slam. And the school hall monitors, come in, come on, get in here. Boom. She closed, the door was closed on its own from the wind. And I look back, I make sure that both of my siblings were there. I says, okay. And I tell you, and I tell you, and I tell you, they were covered in snow. They literally look like snowmen. I kid you not. And that for me was like, wow, these are my babies, these are my family, like they, I'm not gonna say my kids, but they were like my kids, you know what I'm saying? And they were full of snow. And They were scared. They were cold, right? And I would have to like hug them out of that, and one by one, and maybe sometimes at the same time, and they would be so happy, like, oh my gosh, you put them out of that, um, the snow that they were in, and so you got other people, other neighbors that were coming in the same manner with their kids, and everybody's rushing into them doors. And I'm talking about the wind is and the snow is all over the place in the auditorium, which is where we used to come in through, and they would rush us in, and then you know, and they were frozen by the time we got there. And I would remove, one by one, and they would try to remove their stuff and their clothes, all their the hoodie and the gloves and the mask and the scarf and but still be frozen and you touch their nose. Oh, it was like an icicle. And I would rub their, and they would push me away. And it was really nice to see that they made it, right? That I helped them make it, and they would bring us like freaking cold cereal. But we already ate. And my mom was probably at work. We didn't know if she made it or not. Um, I did that for 3 years. I traversed heavy snow, and for 3 years, and I would not change that for anything in the world. They were just babies trying to go be compliant. And if they didn't have anybody to guide them there, then what would have they have done to get to school? If you have siblings and if you have family, love them as much as you can and as much as you can. You don't have to go beyond. But that's my story, me traversing through the snow to get to school, to take my siblings to school so they won't freeze to death. And they never froze to death. They're alive today. Draco P21, P2. What you say? Put your hand on the camera for Lamar Jackson edit. I don't know who Lamar Jackson is, bro. But that's the story. So what's up? I'm gonna go to bed because I have to wake up in a couple of hours to pick up my brothers and say what's up and have some breakfast. Take care. Love you so, natural. And you already know. Wake up, wake up. Or go to sleep. Peace.